What's up, guys? Welcome to my 3-part video series about how to raise and keep chickens. In today's video, we'll be learning about how to get started with chickens. Okay, guys, so let's get right into it. So, first thing is, when do you get your chickens? Or, in this case, chicks, because you're most likely going to start out with chicks. I have a batch in here that's about a month old, maybe less. But so if you look at nature, everything starts in the spring, and that's also when most chicks and stuff are going to be sold. So that is usually when I'll get my chicks. That's when these were born. I incubated my own chickens, but we'll get into that in a different video. But I usually just get them from you can get them from your local feed store or Tractor Supply. They'll always have them, or you can order them online, which is what I really like to do, since you can pick out special breeds and stuff. So the company I get mine from is McMurray Hatchery, which I've made a video about how to get them online, which I'll leave right here. And you can usually get your chickens within a couple days. Or if you pick the feed store option, you can get them right then, but they usually have less options on the chicks. So, you know when you're going to get your chicks. Okay, so now what breed to get? So, I think the best breeds to get for laying purposes are the White Leghorn, the Rhode Island Red, and the Black Australope. They are great laying hens, and they're a friendly breed. They don't get too big. They're a normal size. These are all mixed breeds here. I'll show some videos of the breeds right now. And those are the chickens that you're most likely going to get for laying. And if you want to get into the meat part, you can still use those breeds for harvesting meat after they're done with their egg laying and everything. But the meat bird you could get is the Cornish cross, which they're specifically bred for meat, and they only live for a few weeks. So in our case, we're just gonna say we're gonna get some laying hens, so you know what chickens you want now. So supplies, what you're gonna need before you can get those chickens is a brooder. I like a pretty good area, depending on how many chicks you can hold, really. But if you start out with 10, this is a nice little area. I think there's 20 in this brooder, but it's probably 8 by 4. I think that's what how big this brooder is, and it's a nice size. You definitely don't need one this big. You could get one a quarter size of this, and it would work just fine. But I like to give them quite a bit of room to play in. As you can see, they're jumping around everywhere, playing with each other. But so you need a brooder, and you also are going to need a heat lamp for your chicks to stay warm. So when you first get your chicks, they're going to be little tiny, about half the size of those guys. And usually you're going to not want to put your heat lamp any closer than 20 inches to your brooder, because it gets pretty hot. You don't want it to put anything, you don't want to overheat the chicks or cause any fire danger. And if you have a okay sized brooder, the chickens can go in and out of the heat as they want. I just raise it up about 2.5 feet above here, so it still gets pretty warm if they want to. But here in Oklahoma, it's getting pretty warm already, so they don't need the heat lamp as this. And usually when you get a good bunch of chicks, they'll bundle together for heat, and that's when you know you're going to need a heat lamp, which these guys aren't. So the second thing you need is food and water. So I would first get them started on, just go to your feed store, and they're going to have stuff that's called Chick Starter. This is from Nature Wise. I like this brand. That's where I get most of my chicken food, but it comes in these little fine grain pellets. You're gonna want to get the crumble, so it's like 16% crumble. And when they're little like this, I would give them unlimited food all the time. So you get one of these feeders and just fill it up, and they'll like that. And the water, you gotta make sure their water's always clean. So give them enough water so they always have some. And what I would do is prop them up. I have these little old shelves, and I would put the food and water on the shelves. I need to reset them because these chicks are flying around everywhere. But you just set the food and water on them, on the shelves, so they don't knock the shavings and all that into the food and water. So the type of bedding you want to get them is usually you're gonna want to get shavings. I personally just like Stroll better because it's easier to clean up, and the chicks seem to like it more. But you're gonna find some just fine pine shavings or whatever you have at your store, or you can just use some hay or straw to mat down with them. I kind of have a mix of both, but the chicks will like it, and then they'll just eat and drink whenever they want. Okay, got your chicks off to a pretty good start now, so don't be surprised if any of them die, because these little chicks don't have the strongest systems yet, so you'll usually lose a couple, but shouldn't lose too many unless you get a bad batch, which is rare to happen. I've only lost one of mine, and they're pretty healthy. Now, timing is when you want to take your chicks out of the brooder and put them in a more pen that's outside and ventilated well. I have a window where a breeze comes in here and for the chicks. This is my brooder and feed room, but you're gonna check and see if your chicks are getting feathers, which these chickens are getting feathers now. So that's when you want to know when you're gonna move them outside to a pen. Now also when you're getting your chicks, you want to know which ones are females or males. I would say if you're getting 10 chicks, I'd get one rooster, because it's usually going to be about one rooster per 10 chickens. So this is my brooder pen. I would put, so all around it is chicken wire, so those chicks can't get out. Mine are all getting feathers now, so I'm going to move them out here pretty soon in the next couple days. But you're going to still want to give them nice clean water and probably unlimited food. My pen's a little overgrown because don't have any chicks in it yet, but just throw a goat in here and they'll mow it down. And then you're going to want to give them a little house, which is just pretty easy to make, or you could even get one of the big tubs you could pick out at Walmart or Target and put a hole in it, and they could stay in there as their little hen house at night. And I would put a cover of their pen or whatever you have around them so no predators or anything can get in. So I have a nice sized brooder pen with a little hen house in there, and there's a little tiny roost so they can hop up in there. Just good size to go in there at night, and they can play around in the grass. And this is going to be probably about a month to a month and a half after they're grown up when you're going to put them in here. Need a heat lamp anymore, and if they do get cold, then they can bundle up with each other for heat. So once they get feathers, they're pretty on their way for the heat part of it. This is my big pen with all my hens and ducks, but this is the brooder pen we were just at. And once the chicks are about, I'd say maybe 2-3 months old, once they're almost as big as a full-grown hen, which is about this size, probably when they're about half to 3/4 the size of a hen's, you can put them out together. And if you do have other chickens before that, which this will probably be your first group of hens, but when I put new chicks out, chickens will probably put them in their spot, which they won't hurt him or anything. They just tell them who's boss pretty much, but put them out in a pen once they're about 2 to 3 months old. So their feathers are fully developed and everything. You can put them out in a pen that isn't completely predator proof, and I would suggest getting maybe a guard goose, or if you have dogs, it's pretty good already, because I don't have any problems with predators really because of all of our dogs and all of that. So your chicks should be set in the brooder pen. Thanks for watching the first part of this series on how to raise your own chickens. In the next video, I'll be showing you how to keep and maintain the chickens once they're out and they're starting to be close to full grown and starting to lay and everything. We'll explain that in next week's video that will come out on Monday. So look out for that. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you for part 2.